there and welcome back to Loopy Mabel Vintage Style Crochet. My name is Jane and thank you to all my subscribers, and if you're new here you're very welcome, and please hit that subscribe button and then you'll be kept up to date with all the videos that I do bring out. Now, as you know, I do love a little bit of vintage and I do like to upcycle some of my clothes. I've added a trim to one of my blouses in a previous tutorial and I thought I would continue on in that theme. And I've got a little blouse that I got from the charity shop last week, and it was just a little bit on the plain side for me, so I thought I would liven it up, upcycle it, add a nice little trim on the cuffs, and I've also added it to the hem, and I just think it finishes off and just gives it something that little bit different. So if you would love to have a go at maybe upcycling your clothes, why not stay tuned and watch this really simple tutorial. What we're going to do is going to add a lovely crochet ruffle trim to the cuffs of this blouse, and I'm going to be using the Edge It tool, which comes with a 1.75mm hook and also a 1.75mm piercing tool too. And I'm also going to be using a 3.25mm hook and a 3.75mm hook. I've got some scissors, and I'm also going to be using Rico Essentials Cotton Double Knit, which is a lovely mercerised double knit yarn. There's 50 grams in this ball, and I just thought the white would give it a lovely lacy effect. So that's what I'm going to be using for this tutorial. So let's begin. So going back to the Edge It tool, I'm using the Edge It tool because this is going to be used to make the holes for me to get the crochet hook through. So I'm going to be using the piercing tool. So I'll just come a little bit closer. And there is the piercing tool. It's a 1.75mm hook, but it's very sharp pointy edge which makes a hole through fabrics. So what I've done was, on this other side, on this other cuff, I've gone all the way around with my piercing tool, and I've just literally pierced the edge of the cuff of the blouse and made a number of holes all the way along. I've just used by eye, I haven't used any measurement as such. I've just gone along by eye, inserting the tool and making some pilot holes. So I'm just going to attach the yarn to the first hole. So I'm going to use the 1.75mm hook for this first round. So I'm just going to insert my hook into that first hole and bring through the yarn. Now this is the first round. Depending on what you're attaching your crochet trim to, can be the most fiddliest round, because obviously you're going through the layers of fabric and bringing the wool through, so it can be a little bit fiddly, but just persevere because it is well worth it. And I'm just going to chain one, and then I'm going to go down into that same hole and pull through and yarn over, pull through to make a double crochet. So I'm just going to work all the way along, inserting the hook into those holes that I've made, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through for another double crochet. Now this tutorial is in English terms, so when I mention double crochet it would be a single crochet if you're watching from the US. And then moving on to the next hole and work a double crochet, yarn over and pull through. I'm just trying to keep my tension fairly slack. So just insert your hook into the next one, bring the yarn through, yarn over and pull through, and just slowly work all the way around going through the holes that we've made. Yarn over and pull through. So I'm just got a few more to go. I'm just trying to keep my tension fairly loose. Slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet that we did, yarn over and pull through, and pull through, and that is our first round done. So we can take off the tool now, and I'm just going to insert my 3.25mm hook, and I'm just going to go around again now with another row of double crochet. So I'm just going to chain one, which doesn't count as a stitch, go back down into that same stitch and work a double crochet. And this round obviously should be a lot smoother and a lot quicker. I'm just going to go all the way around. So I'm just going to work all the way around with double crochets, inserting my hook, and that gives us a lovely row there of double crochets. So I'll continue on now all the way around, and I shall see you somewhere around about here, and then we'll go on to adding the ruffle. So I'm almost round to the beginning, so I've just got a few more. Last one, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet that we did, and that's completed that second round. So now I'm going to move on to my 3.75mm hook for the ruffle, and this really is a simple round. All we're going to do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That's going to count as our first treble, and into that very same stitch I'm going to insert my hook back into that same stitch and work 4 more trebles. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, back down again, working 4 trebles, like so. So we've got the 3 chain that we did was going to count as a treble, and I've worked 1, 2, 3, 4 trebles into that same stitch, and from now onwards we're going to work 5 trebles into every stitch. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, back down, 2, 3, 4, and 5, down into the next, work 5 more, and then 5 more into the next, and it's just simply all the way around 5 trebles into every stitch. And by adding the 5 trebles into each stitch, it creates obviously more stitches that you had at the beginning, and it creates a wavy ruffle. Creates like a ruffle effect. So if you're following along in the tutorial, all I'm going to do now is continue all the way around, inserting my hook into every stitch and work 5 trebles in every stitch, and I shall see you somewhere towards the end, and then I'll show you how to finish off this round. So I've just got one more to go, so I'll just work my 5 trebles in that last space. There we go, and all we're going to do now is slip stitch to the top of that 3 chain that we did at the beginning. So 1, 2 and 3, insert your hook and just slip stitch, and that completes that first round. So you could either stop here if you think that's long enough for you, or you could continue on and do another round to make the ruffle that little bit longer, which is what I'm going to do. So I'll just show you what it looks like so far. How pretty is that? But I'm going to go and do one more row, so I'm going to work all the way around working trebles. So if you want to make your frill that little bit longer like me, all you need to do for the second round, really simple again, all you need to do is literally do a treble, work a treble in every treble around. So I'm just going to chain 3 to start off with, and that's going to count as my first treble, so that'll be my first one. So down into the next stitch, insert my hook and work a treble, and then just work a treble in every stitch around. And this will, you're not adding any more stitches to this round, you're just lengthening what you've just done. So it's just literally 1 treble in every treble, and just makes that ruffle edge a lot deeper, like so. So you could either stop here if you're happy with that length, or you can continue on and make your ruffle as long as you like, really. But I'm going to go on to one more round here. So if you're following along with me, all we're going to do is treble in every stitch around. We're not increasing, we're just going to add a treble in every stitch, and I shall see you somewhere towards the end of here. We'll finish off, and that will be our ruffle edge. There we go. I'm just going to slip stitch to the top of that chain 3. 1, 2, 3, insert my hook into that top chain there and pull through, and that's our second row, and I'm quite happy with the length on that, so I'm just going to trim my yarn now and just pull it through, fasten it off, and obviously I've got to sew in my end, and I'll just quickly show you what this looks like. And there we go, lovely ruffle edge to my blouse sleeve. And all I'm going to do now is repeat that exactly the same on the other sleeve, and I may even add a trim to the hem. So obviously that's 2 rows on the cuff. You don't have to do 2 rows, you could stop at 1, or you could even go on beyond 2 rows and do as many as you need for the garment that you're adding it to. So I hope that inspires you. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial as much as I did. If you did, don't forget to give me that lovely thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, then you'll be kept up to date with all the videos I bring out. And I hope this has inspired you to maybe get your crocheting hooks out and get something that's been hanging around in your wardrobe for a while, or maybe something you picked up from the charity shop like I have, and just add a little bit of crochet trim and just to transform your clothing, and then you're going to give it your own unique style too, which is what I absolutely love to do. If you love adding trims, or you'd like to have a go at doing another style trim, I do have a video on adding this lovely pom-pom edge trim. I'll put the link for that up there, so maybe you can check that out too. But as I always say, it's only crochet, practice does make perfect. But until the next time, please take care and happy crochet.